welcome back to my channel. It's so crazy, like, we're in 2019. Like, where did 2018 go? Right now, there's a freaking blizzard outside. It's crazy out. It's like 12 degrees where I'm at, and like, it's pretty freaking cold. So I decided to take a break from watching Netflix to film a video for you guys, because why not? And I've had to sit down 3 different times to try to film this video because Lewis was going crazy all over this apartment. So now that he's locked up, let's chat. So a question that I got a lot this year on Instagram was, how do you stay so happy when you're dealing with your infertility issues? And I feel sometimes like I'm a fraud when you guys ask me and I give an answer, because a lot of it was me, like I was being selfish and doing things that made me solely happy. And that's what I feel like I needed in 2018. And let me rewind a little bit, because in 2017, that is when it was the toughest year for my whole like fertility journey. Like, every time I would start my period, I would cry, like the whole period, however long it lasted. And I would be, it would give me such stress in my life. And then when the new year came around, like, I feel like that's a time where you look at your whole year and you kind of like evaluate like how your year has gone. And I just remember sitting down with Jordan and telling him, it's not anything to do with you, but I'm not happy because this fertility thing is like really messing with me. And I feel like I'm letting you down every time we don't get pregnant. And I remember him looking at me and being like, wow, I feel like I'm failing you as a husband for you to think that you're failing me like this, because I don't even see it like that at all. And so I feel like I'm failing you in not being there in the way that you need. And we had real conversations, and I say conversations, not a conversation, conversations about what we felt like we needed in 2018. And a lot of that was really just me being selfish and him being selfish, and kind of finding things that made us happy, and so we could come back together and be strong in this journey together. So when I would say like, oh, like when people would ask me, oh, how are you staying so happy? And I'd be like, oh, well, I bought me a makeup palette. Oh, I went to Lush. Oh, I did this bath bomb. Oh, I did a face mask. Oh, I went to a movie by myself. And, you know, and it was saying those things. Yeah, I did do those things and try to keep my mind off of it. But what I also realized in 2018 is it's okay for you to be mad and sad about things. It's just that how are you going to let them truly affect you? And that's what I feel like I've been balancing this whole year, was trying to balance being sad and angry and then finding my way back to be happy again. And that's really, I feel like that's not talked about enough. When we talk about infertility, it's like, oh, I'm sad and this, and it's easy to get lost in that. But what I'm saying is, you need to try to pull yourself out of that and find your happiness. And it's really hard. And it's something that I've struggled with this whole year, is trying to like pull myself out of not being angry and depressed, because that's not the life that I want for myself. It's not the life that I want for my husband. And I feel like when you're talking about a mental state, it's hard to explain to people like what you're going through. And this year I've really stepped back and I've really like evaluated my situation. And I feel like how I did that too was the help of my partner. You know, I am so grateful for Jordan. Like, we had long talks about dealing with infertility and what is our next step, and what is our next step just to be happy. And I really appreciate that. Something that I do every year is I'll write a letter to myself. This is my new one for 2020, but for the last like 4 years, I write a letter to myself, and I hang this on my fridge. It's actually on this like little, like, I don't know what this is, but it's on this little thing, and it's like got a magnet, and I hang it on my fridge, and I look at it all year long. And I feel like this is like, I read this year's, and I read almost like I said, there's like 4 of them in here. And I read them, and I was like, wow, I've really grown as a person, and it made me really happy. And I feel like a lot of people, whether you're dealing with infertility or not, should try like writing a letter to themselves and like what their like personal goals are. And another goal that I decided not to make one of my goals anymore is getting pregnant. It's a lot of pressure when you're dealing with these kinds of issues. Well, it didn't happen again. It didn't happen again. I'm a very like goal-oriented person, and I like to set goals for myself and grow as a person. And having that goal for me, I'm just not going to make it a goal anymore. And it made me sad not to make it a goal this year, but also it was like a relief. And I feel like a lot more freed from it, you know? And I don't know how to explain it other than that. Like this year, I've been accepting, like, something that I said in my letter is change the things you can, but also realize the things that you can't change. And when I read that to myself, I was like, I feel like I really did try to embody that this year. And I feel like, you know, 2017 was my year where I was just really depressed and unhappy. And I feel like 2018 was that year where I was like, wow, I really came to like terms of it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be mad about things, but not to let them just solely consume you. And I feel like this year was really a good year for me in that. And with that being said, also, what I've also realized is not to like look at someone else's life on Instagram and be like, wow, their life is so perfect, and be envious of it. You know, a lot of people will message me and they'll be like, see, you're so happy, and you and Jordan have this perfect marriage and stuff like that. And like some days it's like really, really hard, and I don't want people to ever think that I'm perfect and me and Jordan are perfect and we have this perfect life, because we really don't. But you know, I've been guilty of that. I'll look at people's Instagram lives and I'll be like, wow, I wish that was my life. I wish I had this. I wish I had that. And it's just not healthy. And I want to be more real in 2019 so I can, you know, help people to realize that not everything you see through the screen is always like reality, if that makes sense. And I just feel like really happy that I'm in a better place now, and it just makes me feel relieved, and I just want that for everybody else. So this year I'm going to be a lot more open with like any more struggles that I've had, because I feel like those videos do really well and people will be like, wow, I go through it too. And it's very like helpful, especially not in just fertility ways, but like in just in general. So that is my goal for 2019. And that's why this says 2020 on it, because that's when I opened my letter. But you guys should try doing it. Like, it's really fun to open a letter every year that you wrote to yourself, so you can see like different points of view on your life and like where you were on your headspace. And it's been really like cool to see like how I've grown as a person doing that. Like I have like I haven't been doing it long. I've only have like 4 letters. I've done it for the last 4 years, and like every time I read them, I'm really like proud of myself. Even when I like, because I'll put my dark moments in here and I'll read them and I'll be like, wow, I made it through that. So just, this is a good idea. So I feel like you guys should try it. And it's at the beginning of the year, so like you still have time to write your letter. It always takes me a minute to like read and write my letter, because I'm like always like a little bit scared to read it and a little bit nervous of what I'll put in there. And I only write like maybe a paragraph, like, or you can write as much as you want, but like I always reread my letters, so I try to keep them kind of like short since I'll be reading so many. But that's all I'm gonna say right now, guys. Like, I hope everyone is starting off their new year really well. Mine has been, you know, a little up and down, but I feel like this is gonna be a good year for me and Jordan, whether we get pregnant or not. It's gonna be a good year for us, because like I feel like I'm in a really good mental space, and that's a good feeling. So stick tuned to more of our videos. Like, we got a lot of stuff planned. I know Jordan's gonna be filming a video later, so you know, I hope you guys are all safe, because like where I'm at, like the weather is crazy. So bye guys.